This guy.
Here we are for part 2. How many
Part 2. Elijah Jones. And we have a special guest today. Please introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, my name is Diego Papa TB, and what is going on? You guys are tuning in tonight. We're gonna talk about the fight from UFC 253, right? If I'm not mistaken.
253.
And what a great fight! One of the best. Well, not one of the best fight cards, but the whole fight card is pretty good.
Yeah, it was good fight card.
Yeah,
Last night. Good.
Even the preliminary fights was pretty good too.
The prelim fights were great. We had just finished talking about the 3 fights before the co-main event and Jan Blachowicz versus Dominic Reyes. So now we're going to talk about the fight that we've been waiting to see for about maybe 6 months, 8 months at this point.
Yep, exactly.
Paulo Costa ends up getting finished by Israel Adesanya in the second round by left hook, then ultimately ending with the stoppage. The stoppage was there. I left it there. Sorry about that. And the stoppage was there. You guys, please comment on it. I was going to heat it up.
Dude, I want to first of all, I want to thank everybody for watching. That's going to watch in the future. Sorry for the lag issues. There's a lot of issues going on with StreamYard, but I'm glad we're still talking UFC and we can finally talk about this big main event, which again has been months in the making. Israel Adesanya completely dismantles Paulo Costa and is undefeated right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a competition.
No.
What you thought about the fight?
I'm sorry, I was promoting this real quick.
Repeat that again. We're gonna keep going until Levy's ready. Because Levy's gonna give us his with him being our special guest today, we're gonna have him give his opinion, give us his comments, give us his analysis of the fight because this man knows his things as well as us. Last night it was actually interesting because the build up to the fight, we saw all this stuff. Flathead Politics said, "Bro, Costa got scorched." I don't disagree with this statement. You are correct, Flathead Politics. Also, hope you're doing well on this Sunday. Last night, leading up to the fight, I remember just watching like the pre-fight, the pre-fight presser and all this other stuff, and even the weigh-ins. We saw that Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa, they had the intensity there, but Costa ended up showing not only his black belt, but pulling out a white belt and throwing it at Izzy, right? And so giving it to Izzy as a play on the fact that he is a white belt. And then Israel took that white belt and then tried to throw it back at him, but it got caught on Dana White's arm. So from that interaction alone, we knew that the story that had been building up against these two fighters who kind of don't like each other, but they have they also have O's on their record, so they're both undefeated. The intensity was there, and leading up to this fight, I was like, wow. This could go either one of two ways. Either one fighter prevails and highlights how good they are, or when someone gets knocked out. Me and Tyrese talked about this in the pre-fight show. We both went Israel Adesanya. Levy, I think you had Israel before the fight as well.
Yeah.
It was something that we all agreed on just based on the skill, and it was hard to kind of put that together, but we all agreed that Israel would have the outcome of the fight, which he ended up having. Now, Levy, go ahead, tell us what you thought about the fight.
Well, first of all, the fight was great. Let's talk about the wings. The wings, it was crazy. Just all right. Let's go way before that. I wanted Costa to win. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Costa to win. But after watching the wings, I was like, yo, this guy confidence right now, Israel, is so on point right now that when you could tell when a man is that confident right there, and you could tell how the way his body is and everything, he is ready. And I knew it. He was gonna win. Ever since that Costa gave him the white belt and he threw it back at him, and he did that little thing, and people was holding him back, and then he did all that stuff with the kicks. I was like, bro, he got this. And
to go along with Levy said, load code also said that Israel got in his head. So that's everyone's watching this is kind of noticing that this thing. Go ahead, sorry, Levy.
And you know how you could tell he got into his head, how the way Paulo was showboating. You could tell, bro. Yeah. I fought people before, and when they showboat and they see that they cannot handle the punches and the kicks I be throwing at them, and they start showboating, they're showing that they're losing confidence. That's one. Two, they're like, okay, I don't know what to do now because every time I do this guy's gonna come back with this. So all of a sudden, let me just act stupid. Yeah. Let me take out my tongue out. Let me do all this type of stuff. So it was like, okay. Ever since he started showboating, he was like, that's it. He won.
That's it.
I was impressed with the first kick that Israel threw at him, and Paulo Costa blocked it. And I was okay, cool. Maybe he could handle it. But like you said, he's a kickboxer. I'm a kickboxer. That's all we do. We are gonna throw kicks at your leg just to take all that power away. And I thought Paulo Costa was bigger than I thought Paulo Costa was bigger than Israel, but I had no idea that Israel was 6'4". And he has great skills. He is a big guy. He don't look like it.
No, he's skinny, right? You at 185, right? You see a guy who's tall and skinny, and you don't see that, right? But then I always Terry used to talk about this. It's we always look at how they come in the weigh-ins and then how they come up to fight day, right? Because you're not coming into fight day the same way you're coming into the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins, you're making the weight limit of 185, so obviously your body's a little sucked in. You're obviously a little bit little, right? Yeah. But when you come in the day of, you're allowed to gain about 10% of your natural body weight back, or the 10% of the weight of the class, which in Israel's case would be about 18 pounds here and there, give or take. And if that's the case, he's not walking in at 185. He's walking somewhere around 200 something, 200, maybe 202 max. And same for Costa. I think Costa, he I think he filled out well, but Costa was also noticeably smaller for this fight.
Yes.
He was noticeably smaller than his Costa. He prepared. He had to have prepared for a 5-round fight, right? That's fair. Right? He got a little leaner, but in terms of the fight with Johnny Hendricks, in terms of his fight with with Yoel Romero, I'm blanking on his name. Tyrese, you're talking about him, who had success with the jab. Uriah Hall. Right. There we go. That's his name. Costa was the physically dominating, bigger opponent. He wasn't big in this fight, which makes you think, does Israel have the same effect as John Jones? And I like to think about when Cormier fought John Jones after the first time, what they say surprised Cormier. Cormier said the one biggest thing that surprised him was that Jones is a lot bigger than he had anticipated. And I think that's the case when a lot of these middleweights are fighting Israel Adesanya. He's a bigger guy than they're giving him credit for.
Yeah. To add to that, I think, just looking at the history of Adesanya in the UFC, his physical shape come fight day has changed a lot to where he put on a lot more muscle recently in these last couple of fights.
I think it started with sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It started with you brought it out when we had the fight party with my brother also, who's a very big fan of Israel. You guys brought it up when he fought Robert Whittaker. You said that he looks physically he looks different and he's not as skinny. But sorry, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, to add to that, also his physical build is bigger, a lot over the course of his fights. But also, even when you talk about when John Jones is a lot bigger in the cage and stuff like that, his presence, his ability to control range is what leads to that is. He controls everything in that fight with the Paulo Costa fight. Paulo Costa could not come in. Either because of the leg kicks that he was doing, or his ability to get out of the way and to react in time. We talked about before about the thing about Izzy isn't his power, it's not his precision, it's his ability to be able to react in a split-second fashion. To where Paulo Costa trying to throw a body kick and Izzy's able to catch it, and try to counter with it. Paulo Costa trying to come to the inside, he's able to exit to his left or right. It's just that to where Paulo Costa got frustrated in the fight, and Izzy just picked them apart. To where when Paulo Costa did eventually come on the inside, Izzy was able to do the same thing he did to Robert Whittaker, and able to counter with what we try to be an uppercut, but let it get into the ear.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's interesting to see, Israel, Loco says Israel did not run on this fight. He had a game plan. He applied pressure, was way better than the Yoel Romero fight. I think honestly, the style makes fights. I think with Paulo Costa was supposed to be the guy that was going to be able to bring the fight to Izzy. He was going to be the guy that was, not going to be afraid. He's going to go straight into Israel Adesanya and bring the fight to him. And I think what happened was it was a combination of the style of Israel Adesanya, but like you said, Levy, the moment, the bright lights got to Paulo Costa. So when you say the weigh-ins, when I looked at him coming out to the fight in his walkout, I thought the energy was off. I thought something was different there.
He looked a lot smaller, bro.
He just was smaller. I think, like you said, him showboating Connor hands behind the back style, right? Waiting to want him to come to him. It's like that's not how
That's
Izzy fights.
embarrassing.
Yeah, that's not how Izzy fights. Regardless
Yeah.
of what you want, this guy's not going to fight the way you want him to. And this goes back to what you were saying about his control. The control is key for a guy like Israel Adesanya. Flathead Politics says Stylebender, Mad, both Yoel and Costa are apprehensive. Yeah, he shut it down, and the abilities he had to make them think. And when they lose that ability to push forward and kind of bring those engagements, it almost seems as if not that they don't have a plan B, but it's kind of like what's next. It seems to be that kind of moment where it's like, well, you're not engaging me the way I need you to engage me for me to be as effective as I am as a fighter. So if you take away my style, I don't have a plan B. And it seems like sometimes with Yoel Romero that can be the case he tries to depend on his wrestling, but it didn't work in the Costa fight. So that was out of the way. But for Costa, if he can't hunt you down and headhunt and get you, it doesn't seem like he'll be able to not beat you, but he can't do much else. And I don't think that's the case, but I think this is a very big hole in his armor, right? I think this is a very big, like Israel kind of exposed how to beat Costa. And in the pre-fight show, Tyrese alluded to this with the Uriah Hall fight. The reason that Uriah Hall had success stylistically was because he pumped out the jab. He had the movement. He had the circular angles. He was cutting angles, jab, pop, pop, jab, jab, following up with combos. The issue is that after a certain time, Uriah Hall became stationary. Exactly. And that is what led to the I watched the fight again, Tyrese, after you said it. I remember we talked about it when that first even came on.
Thank you.
It was true. The way that happens is you need a guy to be stationary. You need a guy to be stationary for a guy like Costa to be at his most effective because he's more powerful. And like you said, Levy, with the leg kicks, chopping at that lead leg makes it a very big issue to keep that balance when you're throwing power off the back. I told Errol as the fight progressed on, you saw that wide stance that he was taking to get ready to throw those looping hooks became a very upright stance. And when you see the leg bounce up in a Muay Thai kind of motion, you can't put weight on that. You're not putting weight on that.
And his problem was also that he wasn't blocking his kicks too. Like he thought he was gonna eat all the kicks. Bro, you messing with a guy that he does Muay Thai, status kickboxing, bro. He has what was it, like over 25 fights?
I think Israel has probably over 50 kickboxing fights.
Yeah, I know he has a lot.
He has a lot.
He has experience. Like you cannot go toe to toe with him, bro. Like I know you power. I know you got strong. I mean, I know you got a lot of strength, and then you could knock people out, this and that, whatever. But Israel, you should know how Israel fight. One, he's taller than you. Two, he knows how to fight. He knows how to move. He knows how to get away from punching and stuff like that. He knows how to bob and weave. He knows how to do all that stuff. Now you need a game plan to defeat him. And now I don't know what's a good game plan, to be honest with you. The best game plan right now to fight him. Stand up, but you gotta be like, maybe you gotta be maybe like Jose Aldo back in what was it, WEC?
Yeah,
just straight, stand up. That because Jose Aldo at WEC, he was nice. He went to UFC. He was he wasn't that impressive compared to WEC. But I cannot find a way. I don't know who could
to beat Israel. It's hard.
Know. Jones is the only hope, but he's stupid. He's just fucking. I'm sorry, but he's always slacking, bro. Like he'll do good. He is a great fighter.
Yeah,
but he's slacking again. But
Low Code brought in the fact that Israel has over 100 kickboxing fights. Just FYI, guys.
So that's the thing. So like I thought the stat was the ESPN did a great job putting out the stat. They said he has 84 kickboxing fights.
Look at that.
84 kickboxing fights, 6 boxing fights, and then 20 now UFC fights. I think that's like over 100.
Yeah. That might be that's a lot.
That could be right.
No, 20 and out. Is he?
I know he's
young.
77 in kickboxing, I believe.
77 and 3, right?
77 and 7 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like he's had over 100 fights in his career, and he's yet to be. He's not even close to being done. I think.
No, he's not. He's still young.
No, not at
all. He reminds me of a young Anderson Silva.
Yeah. He's more modern at this time. I think with a guy like Israel, you can't you're like when we talk about guys like Khabib, right? And I think someone mentioned this past. There's no way you're going to close the gap in striking. In terms of level of skill shot, you just can't. You're just not going to be able to do that. Having to go toe to him, you have to mix it up. You got to do something. There's got to be. There's got to be plans A through Z in terms of fighting a guy like Israel.
If A don't work, you got to move on to the next one because you cannot just throw punches and that's it. Not with Israel.
You can't
do that.
Low code. I respect you, man, but no. Israel Adesanya, I don't think is a threat to John Jones. I think so.
I think he has. He has a possibility. I'll say this: he has a possibility of beating Jones, but as like anyone can be a threat, right? But as an actual threat, you got to get a little more time on the guy. You got to get a little more time, because Jones. We had this argument last night. I said that even if Izzy would have beat Jones tomorrow, right? Jones will still, without a doubt, have been the greatest greatest MMA fighter of all time. Flathead Policy said that would be fight of the year. Yeah, it would be fight of the year. But realistically, Jones in his career with the experience that he's had, Tyrese brought up the interesting fact that he had 15 fights for the belt.
Yep.
15 fights for the belt. I mean, and like to be honest with you, at a certain point in his career, it was all title fights. Like
all good fighters too. He made this champion look rookie, bro. It was like, bro, that's a whole different situation right there.
Flathead.
Not yet. I agree with you guys.
It's not.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not.
It's gonna take a little while.
Yeah, I think Israel has to grow a little bit more before he gets in that to fight Jones. That's a good fight. Don't get me wrong, but Jones is
But what do you think? But no, that's okay. Now Jones would literally
beat him right now.
But
I think he'll beat him.
Jones needs to get in. He needs to get in too. He needs to get in and do what he has to do too, because he's catching up.
Yeah,
the Sasha's catching up. He needs to.
Tyrese is looking at the camera like what's Joshi say? I'm not impressed. Tyrese is like, I'm not impressed with your performance. I am not impressed with your performance.
Yeah. I say respects, man. But it's like, okay, so
the funniest part is Levy. The funniest part about this is that he doesn't know where to start because he has about 17 ideas right now. He has about 17. Wait till the smoke comes off the head. That's when he's really getting heated.
I'm looking at the comments.
I agree. Jones still got it.
He said,
I spoke to Elijah before. Jones, he's a fighter. He's a type of fighter that he could stop fighting for 2-3 years, but when he comes back, he's still gonna destroy you. He's still gonna destroy you. He's gonna destroy you. He's gonna play around with you, and that's it. There's no way that you could break him down mentally. You could do whatever. A lot of people has done it, and he's just too good. He's just too good. And look, not for nothing. He's not fighting now, but he's still training right now, and I guarantee you, he's sparring as well.
This is a perfect segue, right? Because we were talking off camera, about where does Israel Adesanya stand amongst the greatest of all time, or even just the best middleweights in the world. Elijah, want to say what you said?
I said that I'm comfortable in saying that Israel Adesanya at this current is the best middleweight in the world, and given all the promotions, right? When we're talking about when we're talking about Bellator, when we're talking about Ryzen's kickboxing, but he's also fought for Ryzen, so like you know what I mean. Giving those other LFA, Israel right now is the best middleweight on the planet in current MMA times, but Israel cannot be considered the GOAT. Because there's much more that comes with that legacy of becoming the GOAT than winning spectacular fights. Now, my brother, who's an Israel fan, he loves Israel. He said that Israel's the GOAT, and that's fine. Israel's the GOAT. He will be the GOAT. But as of right now, in this moment, not yet. I think he has. He
needs
has
to
the
fight. He needs to fight champions.
Hear me out. I think he does need to fight champions. I think he has the. I don't think he's the GOAT as of right now. I think he can be the GOAT. I think the pathway is becoming clear for him to do that, and it will be if he cleans out middleweight and then moves up to light heavyweight. And if he even goes for heavyweight, I'd be even more impressed, right? But as of right now, there aren't too many middleweights on this planet that I could feel comfortable in beating. Load Coach said Jones is the GOAT. Jones is without a doubt one of the greatest fighters to have ever graced MMA. He is, if not the one of the top two. There's just not too many people I think who can beat him ever. And again, but that's another conversation. Bottom line is there's not too many people I think that can beat Israel in this world at middleweight. There's just not. There really isn't. But one person I could say, in my opinion, who would give him a tough time is Douglas Lima from Bellator. He bumped up from a welterweight. He has a big frame for middleweight, but fights at welterweight.
Yeah, he's good.
I think him with his leg kicks and the way he strikes and is methodical, he is probably the only person, in my opinion, that would give him a problem. Other than that, I don't see anyone else giving Israel too big of an issue at middleweight.
He needs to go to UFC right now. Yeah, you're right.
I agree. I think Gegard is good. I think Gegard is phenomenal. I don't think he gets enough credit ever, right? He was on a four fight win streak in UFC before they decided to part ways. I don't know. I can't remember if it was because of a contractual agreement or he wanted more money or what happened, but I know they parted ways. He was on a 4-fight win streak with I think all finishes. Those 4-fight wins came from finishes, including one of former champion Chris Weidman at middleweight. Yep. Now, when you look at the projection of his career, he's good. He's great, but as of right now, with a guy like Izzy, I think strikers present a very big problem sometimes for him because he's not able to capitalize. So it depends on also which Gegard Mousasi shows up, too. Because Gegard has at certain points of his career, he's been like he plays it coasted, and at other points he's the man.
Yeah.
But I don't think Gegard Mousasi beats Israel Adesanya right now. I just don't.
Listen, that's fair. I could agree with Israel Adesanya possibly being the best middleweight in the world. I think there's a fair argument for that.
Yeah.
It's when this conversation of he is the greatest middleweight champion of all time, or he's even the conversation of being the GOAT right now. I think that's where we got to pump the brakes a little bit and say, okay, let's see how Israel Adesanya. He has a lot more to go. Even like we're putting him in a conversation of like the Anderson Silva, the GSP, John Jones of the world. Like there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're right. It's not in terms of just like him having to like grow and add all these other skills. It's just about the challenges and obstacles of overcoming the people in the division. And that's also something that's becoming more apparent with Israel because there's more challengers coming on the way in middleweight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
the only one that I think that gave him competition was Silva. To be honest with you.
And Kelvin and Silva were the only two people. Those are the only two people who were able to bring Izzy to a point where he has to really talk him down.
That's my hand man right there, Pro Judas.
Nice to have you as
thanks for stopping by, bro.
Appreciate it.
Well, as you could tell, I'm wearing his shirt too, called Judas.
Nice. I like the shirt.
It is a dope shirt.
Yeah, it's my Ghost Hunting shirt right here. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm also do Ghost Hunting as well.
Yes. I try to promote as much as possible on Facebook. This man, I won't do it, but this man will. So,
Now I was just thinking about actually talking to you guys to see to like thumbnails. If you guys need thumbnails, trust me, I'll make a thumbnail for you guys every week.
Oh, most definitely.
Whatever we have fights.
Too good for us.
That's also my homegirl right there too. Whisper Soul is one of my friends.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, yo, guys, what do you do? You share this out. Let everybody know. Every Sunday, this guy's always going to be talking about fights. Whenever there's fights, but
now we got to be consistent.
I'm gonna say something, right? I'm gonna say something right now. I've been bragging you guys a lot. I've been saying, yo, you got to check these guys out. If you think Joe Rogan is nice, this guy knows a lot. These guys are very entertaining, and they know how to talk about. The only thing about it is you need the love to spread out, and people need to get to know who you are. So. Yeah.
Levy's, man, ladies and gentlemen, Levy, Lego Poppy. This guy's a good guy. Please check out both our pages. Please subscribe. We both offer interesting content, so please keep it going. Gentlemen, I need to know what's next. We're going to go loser. What's next for Paulo Costa?
Oof.
Right? That's my question.
Maybe Whitaker, maybe?
Whitaker's
I'm,
engaged with in a near.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's gonna have. He wants his rematch. I mean, everybody's gonna have a rematch, but nah, you're good, bro. But nah, bro, just relax.
You're good, but
he is good, but not to fight Israel again.
Nah.
He's too good. He's another Jones. He's the type of guy that everybody would hate him and love him, whatever. But people they want him to lose, but he's not gonna lose anytime soon. To be honest with
you, I agree. I don't think he's losing anytime soon. I think he's gonna have the Jones effect. Like, there's gotta be something in the back of your head that makes you feel good knowing not anybody you face is gonna whoop your ass. Like, there's gotta be a good feeling in this world knowing anyone you face is not gonna whoop you. Like, there's gotta be something back there. Like, yo, I'm it. Like, and that's what Izzy has. He has that power.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Costa obviously takes a little time off. We gotta reassess. I don't think he should not change his camp though. I think that is the worst thing he could do.
His fault.
It's his fault. Learn from the mistake. And I talked about this in the pre-fight. Tyrese is smiling. I don't like that smile. But Tyrese is talking. We talked about this in the pre-fight. Pre-fight show. I thought that when you look at the resume of the people that Israel fought, and then you look at the resume of the people that Costa fought impressive guys, Uriah Hall, Costa, Uriah Hall and Yo Romero. But before that,
he lost to Romero, by the way.
He did lose to Romero, right? We all thought that.
I believe that. Yeah.
And it's just that the resume of people that Izzy beat contributes to better experience, in my opinion, because he faced not only a big guy that pushed forward in Martin Vettori. Every single person that Izzy has fought has tried to push forward against him, and he's been victorious. So, in my opinion, when I was right before the fight, I was like, wait, this is going to play out the same as any other fight. Everyone's going to try to push forward, and he's going to find a way to slip out and counter. Or slip out and hit you. That's it. So Costa, in my opinion, sits out a little bit, stays same camp, and then he should fight the loser of Cannonier versus Whitaker or Kelvin Gastelum. I'd like to see Kelvin Gastelum get a crack.
That would be great.
That's who I want to see, because I think Kelvin matches up well with this man.
To fight Paulo?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. He's good too. He's really good.
Kelvin's had some bad luck. But Kelvin is right there.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna destroy
Joker, right?
Adesanya.
He was
Adesanya.
That before the last round, 2-2.
Yeah.
Tyrese.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. The Costa, at least.
I like the Kelvin Gastelum.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, good.
I'll let me see if I could go.
Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
No, so good. Let's see. I'll mute his mic real quick. Yeah. So what you call it? I definitely like to see Kelvin Gastelum versus Paulo Costa. That's a very, very good idea. I love that matchup. You could also do the loser or winner of Jack Hermanson and Darren Till. That's another one.
Yep.
There's options for him. I just want to see how he stacks up now against people that now know how to beat Paulo Costa. Like, I think there was a recipe for it before. I think now there's even more recipe.
Now, with that being said, again, this is the crucial key that a lot of people have to remember. You can't emulate Israel's style because a lot of people don't have that high level of striking. But if you can emulate certain parts of that and keep that fight close without him having to come forward and destroy you, you can win against him. But this is like the condition with Khabib. No one can do what Khabib does. There's not one person in UFC who can do what Khabib does, besides Khabib. There's not one person who can do in UFC what Israel does besides Israel. So you can do the striking, but you have to understand there's a limit to a lot of people's skills. It's like, so you don't just try to emulate striking overall. Because Costa could get you. That's not an issue. Yeah. But I agree. You kind of see the weaknesses in his game. So it's up to really Costa to really fill those weaknesses and try to build. But I think the worst thing he could do is leave his camp. I really would hope he doesn't leave his camp.
I hope not. Yeah, I mean the issue. Like I said, it's not the camp. It just he fucked that up. Because there's people that I'm gonna quit my camp. I need a better camp. No, man. Sometimes it's you, bro. Sometimes it's the fighter.
Levy coming in
like I feel like every camp or good. it just I guess it depends on you. You gotta train hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you slag, sometimes you're not, but I think it's a person.
Agreed.
I want to react to what Flat Policy says. I can't think of another fight that will have the same amount of joy and anticipation as Stylebender Dunn versus Paulo Costa. I think if Robert Whittaker beats Cannonier,
that will be good.
That rematch will be massive.
That rematch will not only be massive. I think that rematch will be slightly different.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's probably gonna just go and do what he has to do. So that's it.
Thank you, Whisper. So we appreciate you.
Oh,
thank you so much. I agree.
Every Sunday, guys. Every Sunday. What time? Right, 11:30, right?
11:30.
Usually
11:30 every Sundays.
Damn, now we got to be consistent, Tyrese. This is
just a must.
I love the pressure. I love the pressure. I love the pressure.
It's a must.
I'm not gonna break, but damn.
I know.
But no, going back to Israel, you're right. I think Flathead Politics was right. This Costa fight was big, right? Because we wanted it last year. That's how big this fight was. Levy, I remember coming to you, talking to you about it when he fought last year, and we were like, "Yo, like we got to get Costa versus Israel, right? We got to get it, right? We got it." The outcome is significantly different from what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a war.
But with that being said, it only helps to prove how good Israel and how amazing he is.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think where Israel goes here is he just waits for the winner of Cannonier versus what's it called? Cannonier versus
Whittaker.
That's it. There's no other fight. But if Whittaker wins, I don't know. Do you think he gets a title shot right away?
Yes.
If Whittaker wins, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
my biggest thing. I just don't know. I hope he gets a title shot right away, but I don't want him not get it. Whittaker's my boy.
Yeah. Whittaker. And I'm gonna tell you this. So when I saw Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya, I was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be a war!" And this guy just caught him with the.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow."
I honestly think because with Whittaker, he's gone through this whole redemption. It seems like where. There was rumors that he had something going on with his daughter, and
I see
the bone marrow thing, and now he's come back and he's beaten Darren Till in that 5-round war, and now he's gonna fight Jared Cannonier. If he beats Jared Cannonier, like the redemption story of the guy that had everything, lost it,
and got it back,
and do it in Australia again. Oh my God, it's massive. That's a massive fight. If Whittaker can beat Cannonier, do it back in Australia one more time. I think that fight will be massive again.
Yeah. Yeah. They should make that fight again. They should.
Whittaker's my boy. You know this.
He's one of the. He is. He's nice, bro.
When he was coming up, I was like, Tyrese, watch out for this guy. Watch out for Whittaker. He ends up. Tyrese is like, he got to get past Brunson. I'm like. That's not a problem. It's not what are you saying to me right now? That's nothing. He gets stumbled in the first minute. It's like, damn, Brunson's coming out strong. Then finishes Brunson. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and that war he had.
The
first war.
Oh my God, dude, that guy. He fought a lot of good fighters, bro, and won.
He fought the best of the best at the moment. Come on, Bobby Knuckles. We put some respect. I'm sorry. Obviously, you can see I'm passionate about Robert Whittaker.
Yes, you are.
I'm passionate about Robert Whittaker.
Now I know who's your favorite fighter.
No, there's only one man before him. There's two men before him. Obviously, John Jones, because we share the same last name, and Max Holloway. Tyrese, Max Holloway is my.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's good. He's good.
But let's get back to
Levy. It's almost as bad as I mentioned. He loves TJ Dillashaw. Like he is a TJ Dillashaw fanboy.
Matter of fact, Bobby's number 4, TJ's number 2. That is correct. TJ Dillashaw is one of the greatest strikers of all time.
I had a lot of good fighters growing up. Like my favorite, like at first let me go back. When I first started when I started liking UFC, Shogun Rua was one of my favorite fighters at that time. So Shogun Rua was one of my favorite fighters, and then somehow was Thiago Alves.
Beast.
And the time they were beast. Especially when Alves was on steroids, he was killing it, bro. But I think he started using it, bro. And then Silva just became my favorite fighter, bro, all the time. And he just loved his skills, and he was just great. He was a great fighter. Who else was my favorite? I like
You talked to me about Condon a lot.
Cormier. Yeah,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
Cormier at one point too. I mean, I still
Cormier.
like Cormier. I like it when he was on. What was it? There was a.
Oh,
what was it?
Strike Force.
Strike Force?
Yeah, Strike Force. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When he was a heavyweight, he was good there.
He was phenomenal. He beat Bigfoot, Anthony Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah, Bigfoot. Oh yeah.
Josh Barnett too.
Josh
I
Barnett.
don't know. My favorite of all time was Mirko Cro Cop. When he was in Pride. Oh, he was just killing it. I think Mirko Cro Cop, if because you know he fought who was it that he fought again in the UFC that he lost?
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzaga. Gabriel when he
kicked.
kicked him, and then you see that when Mirko Cro Cop when he fell, his foot just twisted.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he was not the same. He gained weight. He stopped kicking a lot. He don't show it, but you could tell that definitely messed him up. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Mirko Cro Cop, if that would have never happened, I think he would have been for a while. But
He was a big boy. Mirko
he
was a big
guy
boy.
too.
He was a big left leg cemetery, right leg morgue. That's what they used to say about him in Pride. That man used to put
it was like a weight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy, bro. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Again,
man.
I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to take that. You just couldn't.
No,
I'd be cut in half.
See, I love this. I love we could just nerd out and just talk about UFC and just talk about fighting and have this. I like have this community together and being able to just talk and just enjoy fighting.
It's fun, man.
It's why we do it. But we are in agreement that Israel Adesanya is not the greatest of all time. Maybe
can
not
you guys see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Well, I don't think because I don't. Oh, hold up. Oh wait, I sent the wrong chat. That's why. the wrong because they're telling me they can't see me.
Oh, okay.
I got it now. All right, cool.
Good.
Yeah, it's not. Israel Adesanya is not the greatest middleweight of all time. He's not the greatest of all time, but I think that right now he's carving his name as the best middleweight in the world, and potentially he can be the greatest middleweight of all time.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. True.
So now is the part of the show we give the grades.
Yeah, so Levy, at the end, you've seen our show. At the end, we kind of grade the card based on the overall performances, the fighters, the finishes, the referee. The refereeing has been, I mean, we've also taken that into account. We've had to drop some grades on cards just because of that too.
True.
We'll allow you to go first, Levy, actually, if you want.
Well, repeat that again. I'm sorry, because I was just fixing this real quick.
No,
say it again.
So we usually give like a letter grade, like A, B, C, or D. Low code, actually, before we go back to the low code agrees with Tyrese. If he's talking about Israel, then yes, I agree. We usually give a letter grade to the card, right? Just to signify either A, B, C, or B minus, C plus. What would you give this card overall? And don't feel that anything's too generous. We generally support our argument, depending on whatever. But what do you think?
Well, so basically, you're talking about the fight card.
Yeah, the fight card, like all the fights, taking into consideration the judging, the fights, the finishes.
I'm gonna say from A through D. I gave it a C, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's because I seen like a better fight card, and I forgot what fight card that I seen. It's been a long time. But I seen fight cards, bro. There was back to back, but that fight card had all the great fighters, but the fighters that I thought they was gonna win, they all lost. This one was good. The reason why I gave a C is because, like you said, we spoke about this before. We were talking about, I want to see Israel and Costa to fight, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be a war. I thought it was gonna be crazy. Like I was imagining like Israel like backing up. I was imagining all this crazy stuff, and it just made the fight look easy. And he was pissing me off. As a matter of fact, Costa killed the whole fight card. Showboy, like, why are you gonna show, bro? Just do what you have to do, and that's it.
It's fair.
But I gave it a C. The fight with Reyes as well too. I was expecting more from him as well, but like I said, I don't think he was training as hard, just because I guess he probably thought, okay, I fought John Jones. So I feel like I have probably this confidence. I even follow him on Facebook.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, it's gonna be a good war. I can't wait to this fight. I'm gonna destroy him." All this stuff. So I'm expecting all these great things. But once he fights him in the fight card during that time, it's just like,
Sounds like let down.
Dude, I'm scared of him, bro. That guy could fight.
We have Flathead Politics who gave the card an A+ because he said
A+?
that Reyes was stopped, but he said it was an A+, but he said that Reyes fight was stopped a little too soon. I could understand that feeling because as soon as he went down, he dropped, and it seemed like he was still there. But I think any follow-up shots with a guy like Jan Blachowicz would really would have hurt him. So I think it was overall. I think it wasn't a bad stoppage. I don't think it was too early. I think it was good.
No, that was a good stoppage.
If he took any more damage, it just wouldn't have been good. And
if he would have got up one more time, that's it. Just one. Just a little quick jab. He's done.
He's done. And then Load Code gave the overall card a B+. Yeah. That's plausible too.
You know what?
I might go B.
I could go B.
Yeah, I could go B, right? And my only reason as to why is because, again, I'm referring back to the pre-show because I want the viewers to watch the show, right? Me and Tyrese talked about it. I said, this fight goes either one way. Either one of them gets the finish or one fighter looks hella impressive in 5 minutes. Now, we didn't get a 5-minute fight, but what we got was Israel Adesanya looking hella impressive. Jan Blachowicz looking hella impressive. You got guys on like Hakeem Dawadu, hella impressive. Caitlin Vieira proving she still got it. Matt Riddell proving he has the heart. This is the second time where he's had to dig deep for 2 rounds in order to beat a guy who was beating him in the first round, right? So I'm going to go B for the card, but B+ because Israel won.
You know what? I'm sorry. I know I gave a fight a C. I think that's too much. I gave it a B.
Give it a B. B is fine. I think
B is perfect. Just because I gave it a B and I give this channel an A+, plus. But the fight, I gave it a B. Just because I wanted to see more with... I was kind of upset with the last fight with Israel because I want to see Israel do his thing. You know? I mean, I want to see Paulo Costa to do his thing, but I wasn't expecting that fight to be so easy.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We didn't get what we wanted, but we got a good outcome, but we didn't get what we thought was hyped up for the last 6 months. Terry Simon,
I do want to answer this question. It says Crow Judah says, I know this is a UFC talk, but what about Tyson and Jones? People are ruling out Jones already. I think that's a mistake because Jones is very evasive and Tyson will always get tired. Here's my thing. I talking boxing. I have Roy Jones beating Mike Tyson. Problem is, I don't think Roy Jones thinks he can beat Mike Tyson. And I think that fight may get scrapped altogether now.
I know with scheduling issues have been a very big part of that fight being pushed back and things like that. I'll say this. I think Jones has a good chance. I think Tyson has a great chance. With this not being a 12-round fight, I think it's like 8 rounds, right?
Yeah.
It works into the favor of Mike Tyson, but a lot of people tend to forget Jones was exclusively all hooks and predominantly unstoppable. Fast hooks, right? Yep. Joe Rogan talked about it one time on his podcast that he almost didn't have these triceps, but his biceps were like freaking rocks. And it's like,
I remember that.
this man, he can do it. Jones can do it. I'm undecided as of right now. I really want to see if that fight actually comes to fruition. I haven't picked anybody yet, though. I don't know if that fight actually comes to fruition, in my opinion. I don't think it does.
But going back
let me start off. So me and Crow Judas, we was gonna go live on Friday, but stuff happened. So, but we was gonna talk about the Tyson and stuff like. We were gonna do something that you guys was doing, and then talk about whatever. Tyson, I think. All right, so Tyson now he started eating meat. He was vegan. Yeah. He started eating meat just because he felt like he didn't have that power. So now he started eating, meat just to get that power back, which I understand. Because I think, from what I believe, he was vegan for a couple of years now.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. He lost a lot
of weight. He got super quick. But I think him adding too much meat might cost him a little bit just because when you have too many muscles on your arms, whatever, you lose oxygen. So you're going to get tired faster. So that's the thing about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson always, like, if he passes by 5th round, he's not going to do what he has to do. So he has to destroy you at least the first 2 or third round. After that, it's going to become a little different. I believe now because of the age, but I believe now he could maybe last a little bit longer. Whatever. I think 8 rounds is perfect for them too.
Perfect.
Roy Jones, Roy Jones, like you said, he didn't have tricep, but he had the biceps, but he was quick. And that hook is go pum 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 like quick. It's incredible how fast he is, and he still has it. I seen in a recent video, he still has it. He could actually catch Tyson a few times, even though Tyson's good with a bobbing weave, whatever. But also I don't know. Tyson's fast too. Like, they're both fast. And Tyson knows how to get in, whatever. But I have a feeling the only way that he will back up Tyson is just Roy Jones needs to back up with the hooks a few times. Yeah, whatever. But that's gonna be one of the fights that I can't wait to see. But it's gonna be awesome.
Like Whisper Soul says as well, bog him down, body absorbing the power rather than punching it out. You know, I think with, and I'm glad we got to this topic. Like, I think with Roy Jones though, Roy Jones has been active. Like his last fight was maybe about a year ago.
He lost that fight though, but he's still active.
Yeah.
The other thing about Jones, I don't think his chin is there no more. Like
that's the question. Yeah.
That's what we gotta see.
Yeah. But, I would pay $60, $70 to watch Roy Jones and Mike Tyson boxing.
That's a good fight.
No. I'm gonna tell you something. I think that fight's gonna sold out crazy. It's gonna be probably fight. I mean, I don't know about fight of the century, but just for pay-per-view for the whole world, just to watch Tyson come back and fight Roy Jones and stuff like that. Mind you, Roy Jones wanted to fight him a long time ago, but because of the weight difference, it never happened.
When Jones actually went up in weight, he had lost.
Yeah,
and when he dropped, he put on a lot of muscle to get up to the heavyweight, or I guess Jones is middleweight. If I'm not mistaken, is he middleweight?
Middleweight.
He jumped up to get like light heavyweight area, and he didn't have the success that he thought it would have, and then dropped down and ended up losing his middleweight belt. Now, Jones is not a big guy naturally. He's a cut lean guy, but he's not a big guy. So it depends on what the actual true weight is for me, right? Tyson will be good because he's a big guy now. But Roy Jones Jr., I don't know if he at a higher class. I just don't know if he is going to be able to move the way he does. But with that being said, I don't think Tyson goes the full 8 rounds as a cardio machine. I don't think that. I really don't. And he also smokes a hell of a lot of weed.
He been going to the what is it, Joe Rogan podcast, bro?
Yeah.
And he says that if I don't smoke weed, I'm not gonna be the same. Like, he needs to smoke weed to be relaxed. If it's not, like, he has to. It's a must. Like, he has to smoke weed every day to be how he is.
See, I wonder if that, with the lung capacity, that stuff does take an effect on you and your body. Yeah. Tyson looks phenomenal though. I can't deny that. But in terms of an actual 8-round fight, I wonder if he goes 8 rounds as fresh and young.
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna tell you this: it's supposed to be an exhibition, right?
Yeah,
an exhibition with these two fighters. All right, put it like this: when you spar with somebody, okay, let's say I'm in the gym. Oh, let's go light sparring. Yeah, cool, we'll go light sparring. Boom, boom, we're fighting. If it hits me hard one point, I'm gonna hit him harder, and then what's started, it's gonna become a whole fight. So that's what's gonna happen with this fight.
Now
it's fighting, exhibition, whatever. But once Mike Tyson gets like a wrong hit, forget about it. It's both of them gonna go wild. So forget about exhibition. It's not no exhibition fight. So let's say. Third round, maybe.
Third round.
You got
maybe a TKO.
You got Tyson win the third round.
I think Tyson's gonna win. I don't know about third round. Maybe they might get tired at the 3rd round. I mean, Roy Jones. I don't know. I think Roy Jones still could hang.
Yeah,
I don't know about Tyson. I don't know about Tyson. I know Jones could actually hang it. That's Steve right there from work.
What's up, Steve?
Oh, what's up, Steve? Glad to have you on the show, man.
What up, Steve?
Yeah, I got. If they were to fight, quote unquote, they were to fight, I got Roy Jones by decision. I think Roy Jones could get a decision out of Mike Tyson.
Agreed, but the opposite, the counter would be Tyson, KO, and Jones.
Yes. That'll be the only. That'll be the only way.
The only way. Yeah. I agree. That'll be the only way for Tyson to
win. Tyson doesn't decision. Yeah. Tyson just doesn't decision. That's just like not. Yeah. Maybe he does have a few decisions, but that's just not. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
Levy's like, he's torn. Levy's torn. You can see it in his face. It's
so good, man.
I'm excited that Tyson's back, and he gives a lot of people hope that he's 53 years old, about to be 54, and look how great he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 36, but sometimes I feel like I'm like right behind him. So I'm like, shit.
Next thing you know, Jones drops out. We see Levy come in. We're like, wait, what? What?
Nah,
Levy's in boxing. Levy's like,
Levy, you can take it.
No, my coach. I'm gonna tell you something. My coach is 51 years old, and I recently was sparring with him a few times ago. I can't beat him. I can't.
Damn.
He used too good. We fought 3 times like a few weeks ago, and I can't beat him.
Experience. I tell Tyrese this. Experience is key. It is
the key.
It is just it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Experience is key.
Yeah, it is key. So if I fight Tyson, he's gonna destroy me. I don't care what people say. He's gonna destroy me.
Lev, you got it, man. We got it.
I wish.
We'll be in your corner. I'll hype you up. And
Levy, I'm a cut man. I'm a cut man. You come to me.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Ice the eye.
I said I
could do it. I think we'll be fine. We got a game plan.
What I do for the money? Yes.
Hey, shit, I do it for the money.
20%, brother. 20%.
I got you guys. Let's do this. Let's make this happen.
Oh man.
But
give us your letter.
Back to the UFC. We on the damn rails. UFC 253. I thought from top to bottom, I thought it was a good card.
Yeah.
A lot of people to look out for in the future. Brad Riddell, I thought looked really good.
Yeah.
The guy the light heavyweight that was like really brawling, William Knight.
Knight's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
Dude, he is.
William Knight. I'm saying.
He
is incredibly strong.
Yeah,
I'm just going to put it that way. Built.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like he's a freak of nature, and I'm excited to see what he does next.
Oh yeah.
Does
he fight in New York? He fights in the things from New York.
I think he's like Connecticut or maybe
Connecticut. Yeah, he's on there. Yeah. Okay.
But like I'm interested to see what he does next, especially in the light of what we talked about before. It doesn't really have a lot of star power or big name. People are growing into that now. Jamal Hill, shout him out.
Yeah.
I thought the main card delivered. I thought Dewada to Krugov was a good fight. I thought Jardy Banks was a good fight. The two main events, the two co-main main event, I thought was.
Can you guys hear that? I'm sorry.
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay.
I thought it was really, really good. I thought Israel Adesanya had his best performance to date.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would give it. You guys gave it a B. Yeah. I'll give it a B. I'll give it an A-. I'll give it an A-.
Yeah.
Because you also had that Brandon Royval guillotine, that jumping guillotine.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, I'll go B plus. I'll go B plus. That's about as high as I'm moving. I
think Low Code had a good medium. I think B plus.
Low Code. Shout out to you. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. I'm not mad at A plus either.
I think I'm mad at myself in C because I don't know why I say C.
A plus.
A plus. I said I'm a little mad that I said C.
Nah. Well, listen.
I think B is good. B is good.
I think the C comes from a place of the hype around the fight, right?
That's what
Dana was like, "This is the fight. This is the fight. This is the fight." Everyone's like, "This is the fight." But what we got was what we've originally been getting, if not better, from Izzy, right? Yeah. So, like, I get it. But you should see Tyrese. Tyrese sometimes, I think he gave a fight card a D one time. I was like, whoa. Tyrese, he gave a fight card a D. I was like, I don't think we went lower than a C minus, but he gave a fight card a D.
I think the Jorge Masvidal Usman fight I may have given a D.
Yo, and I was like, damn.
I think I may have given a D, yeah.
Well, Loco said that Conor versus Manny, that's going to be a good fight. I mean, if you're going to make a video, please put me in this one too.
100%.
100%.
Boxing videos will definitely reach out. And
Anybody? Okay, so let's start with this. If the Conor and Manny fight is true, because right now here I'm seeing conflicting reports about it.
Yep.
If it is true, we will do a video on it.
Yes.
I would recommend anybody everybody watching the video. Thank you. We appreciate you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Renegade Sports.
Also subscribe to Diego Papa TV. That's definitely Levy's YouTube channel. And if there's any other channels you guys would like to shout out, we'll say them right before the show concludes too. So please drop the names of your your accounts and your YouTube channel so you can spread the love.
Levy's about to be October soon. I'm watching your videos now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You gotta watch it at night.
Yes.
That's that. I'm not doing it. Levy's he's trying to get possessed. I'm telling you. I keep telling that work. It's not.
So I went to this church, bro. 1800 church, right? And it's by Brewster, Connecticut. Like it's like literally 1 hour away from where I live at. And I'm going back there tomorrow, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. That place, I think I caught a shadow. the night vision camera. I caught one before already, right? I caught one before, but something about this place, bro. It's like it's old-fashioned church. Everything's so old. Nobody uses church. It's just there. It's like a church/museum and school. But I'm telling you, I think one of the best places I investigated was that place right now.
Tyrese, I told you he'd do this. I told you he'd do this.
So fascinating. It's so fascinating.
It's dope. A lot of people are very skeptical because they don't believe in ghosts, whatever. But you know, some people like I get it. Like if you don't see, okay, I don't believe it. But you know, as a child, you see things, whatever. And then now that I started going out and doing all this crazy stuff, I heard crazy shit, bro. I heard crazy stuff.
Episode for the win. Episode for the win.
Whisper so Levy's got kids. He's already possessed.
Ever since I mentioned the church look. There you go.
Well, definitely check out Lego Poppy's TV YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to both of our stuff for great content. Definitely with October coming up. I'm glued to your channel, sir.
Appreciate it. You know, thanks for you guys. Thanks for you guys having me to the channel. Like I said, I have fun, to be honest with you. So if you guys want me back, shit, I'm in it.
Anytime.
I appreciate you. Always. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Signing off. My name is Tyrese Simon.
Elijah Jones.
Levy Reyes. Let's go.
There we go.
See you guys next Sunday.
Later.
Have a good one.
Later.